Oh, baby, we got a lot to talk about, so come on over to my video game division. I don't care if you're a Gunga, a Droid, a Chaotic Mood, a Conan, you grab yourself a cup of Java Juice. It's the weekend, baby. We got a lot of cool stuff to talk about in today's video. Literally 1,000,001,001 topics that we're going to discuss, ranging from crazy things like the Nightsister Lightspeed bundle. I heard you guys like those things. Are coming back. We also have a ton of buffs already for Kamir, the Stranger, the next Conquest unit. Aurra Singh's getting a buff. We got additive drops for Malicos and Transhed. We even got some unfortunate stuff that we got to talk about, the new Relic Delta numbers, and it seems like they're winding down testing for it pretty shortly here. So yeah, lock in, smash that like button, and let's get down to chatting. Before we talk about some of the more unfortunate stuff here, really quick, as you guys know, I'm making my own game called Chronoseum, and right now, I just opened up a poll for the weekend for you guys. If you guys want to go ahead and vote on which variants of these skins right here for Ghosts of the Past, as well as Celestial Council, that you would like to see end up ultimately in Chronoseum, I opened up a poll, survey, whatever you want to call it. You guys can vote in it in our little beta test that we're doing for something I'm calling the Council of Heroes. We're still figuring out the finer details of it all, but that's why we call it a beta test, just like CG's got fun beta tests too that we're going to be talking about later. So we'd love to have your feedback, and in case you guys don't know, I got my own Discord server for Chronoseum specific stuff, and also we're putting out a devlog probably later on today on the 25/8 Games channel. But speaking of games, let's talk about what's going on with Capital Games over here in Galaxy of Heroes. Baby, oh my gosh, we have a lot of stuff to discuss. So first off, we're going to go over these additive drops for Terran, Malicos, and Trench. Brutus has been added to Fleet 2A, so if you're chasing after Honda, well, he's part of the puzzle that's needed. Master Window's getting an additional event on October 20th, and check it out. Balin's Skull, it feels like it was just yesterday he was just added. Permanently available in the Journey Guide 1020. I can't emphasize enough how much I love his requirements. I can't emphasize how much I love the character. Fantastic all-around package for the guy. Can we clap it up? Happy 1-year anniversary, Balin. It's great seeing you. You are no longer Palin Skull. You are Freeland Skull. Okay, whatever. I was trying to figure out a joke. But I think before I want to get to the other stuff, a ton of buffs that are going on here. Over in the SWGOH events Discord server, it looks like on 10/26/2025, so sometime next week here, the Nightsister Lightspeed bundle is making its return. This was one that people had insane FOMO for. It came out, people were like, yeah, it's cool and all, but I don't know, Nightsisters, they're just okay. And then Great Mothers came out like a few moments later. People were like, I wish I got the Lightspeed bundle. And it's one of the cheaper ones, $15, right? And it's going to be ending on October 30th. So put it in your calendar, 10/26 through 10/30. Hopefully it's not one of those things where it's like on the web store first and then it shows up in the mobile. That part is always a little confusing. Now, I want to talk about this after the whole Lightspeed bundle shenanigans. And yes, I am a big advocate for that Nightsister Lightspeed bundle, in case you didn't see it from way on yonder when it first came out. We didn't really get much of a heads up on this, but there's a limited time bonus drop event that's going on right now for Malicos and Trench. I would say don't get too excited for it. They didn't really give us much heads up to hoard on the energy, and it's, even if you had a lot of energy hoarded, it's not a lot. I mean, I guess we should probably expect that. Those are premium characters in this game. But if you already had them, we're going to do some quick polls on my side. You can get some flaw signal data, Mark 9 Chirotech. So let me go ahead and show you some people's experience with this right now. So 100 battles, 3 Malicos shards. Doesn't look great, right? We have yesterday, someone pulled out the 22 battles. They pretty much got nothing. And then today they got 3 shards. So it's kind of a little bit all over the place. So I already have them both. Listen, it's better than not having an opportunity to get Malicos and Trench. I mean, people care more about the Trench. I would say if you only have so much energy to go around and you don't have Malicos, that's the one to do. He's going to be on light side. Admiral Trench is going to be on dark side. And this is going to go on for another 2 days. Just started up today, and it's got a little bit longer here. So let's see what we got here. Let's go ahead, I don't know, do a bunch of normal energy. I'm not going to go too hard on this. I don't need the Chirotech, and I do not need as well Malicos. Boy, I have him on my free-to-play account unlocked. Chirotech, right? You only got so much to go around. So we're going to do 54 battles. Let's see what we get here. 54 battles, and all right, we got ourselves some signal data, right? So, all right, I'm not sure if it's the same drop rate for Malicos and signal data. Maybe the signal data's got a little bit more, a little bit less. I don't know how they're doing it, but it's not something I would say you expect to swim in it. But, you know, maybe you can get enough over the weekend where it saves you maybe a Proving Grounds run, something of that nature. Otherwise, you're getting additional stuff that you weren't expecting anyway. So there's that. Let's keep moving. We got a ton of stuff to go on here. So, as you guys know, this is the most hyped Conquest unit of the entire. Dark's Vision Ray doesn't count because that was technically 2024. Beyond stoked, and there's a lot of concern about how powerful this guy is gonna be. I like that though. I like when we can be concerned how powerful it is, because the most this year has been snoozy. I said this the other day on stream. It's like, hey, you could have taken this whole year off. You didn't really miss much. You know, unlike 2024, if you skipped out on that year, you missed out on a lot of big stuff. This guy, you are not gonna want to skip out on. We're gonna talk about his Conquest feats in a moment here. Some funny 10-year anniversary stuff. But anyway, since the kit reveal, two massive things have been buffed on him. Check this out. So now here's what happens. You get protection. Enemies lose all their protection and 200 speed for one turn. And as it said before, it isn't like that was 25% speed, right? The character isn't weak at all, but 200 speed down. Even most heals can't get 600 plus speed when it's in the kit. Yeah. So they're trying to do some pretty nutty stuff by buffing how much extra speed that you're gonna be able to knock down. Yeah, what was it again before? Hold on. Gary, can you go pull up the kit reveal? Because they may have changed it. Luckily, that's the beautiful thing about YouTube. You know, it kind of locks in, you know, original kits before they maybe make little changes like this. So if we go ahead, pull up the AHN episode that we did a while ago, and we try and find the ability that has it. No, that's not it. Keep going. Gosh, so many words on this kit. Yeah, here we go. So here's the OG kit reveal. Originally it was lose all your protection and 25% speed. 200 speed is a much bigger deal. In like the context of Hondo, 200 speed is basically a third of his speed. That is insane. I mean, most characters in a competitive sense are like, you know, somewhere in the 300s, under 400, right? That's a huge chunk of speed that's being chipped away. So that's not even everything. There's other stuff that they changed too. Here's what happens before, right? Before it said the stranger just gains a bonus turn. Now they added something additional since that kit reveal, where now the stranger gains a bonus turn and resets all his cooldowns. Holy cow. That just got so much better. My guess is maybe... Wow, this is absolutely insane. My guess is maybe this is like to maybe stop things like Commander Luke from trying to get like a big opening blitz, right? And maybe it's like they're trying to blitz down Khmer, but every single time someone hits him, he's gonna take another bonus turn, and instead of his cooldowns not being ready, just constantly resetting it. This is next level bonkers. I thought the kit was fantastic. This is just insane. And a lot of people are like, bro, CG. This is, I think, a top post on Reddit the other day. All I ask, CG, is make sure you test your game before this team breaks it. Yikes. I know right now they said Barris is what they think that people are going to use for the Star Killer, you know, Khmer lineup. Ezra Bridger Exile might be a pain in the wazoo on this team to fill in that Jedi spot. So thought I'd let you guys know he's a lot better than before. And also, in case this is a very minor note here, load it. There we go. They updated the demoralized page. I thought that was gonna be funny if Khmer or whomever does the demoralize, it still had Gideon's face on it. No, they changed it. It looks a little close to isolate, but anyways, just want to let you guys know in case you're like, what new status effect is that? Gideon's face has been removed from it. Big sad. Also, speaking of buffs, check this out. We have ourselves a buff to Aurra Sing. Now, come better, come worse. Depends how you look at it. I mean, I, of course, as I said many times, I wanted Forlom and Zuckuss to be more of a Dr. Afrolifter. You know, who knows? Maybe when Zuckuss comes around, we can see the fuller picture. Can't make any promises. It's looking like it's definitely more bounty hunter oriented. Maybe they're trying to make Aurra Sing stay a relevant part of this team. This is a long overdue buff here, but they updated her sniper's expertise. It was pretty much a useless ability to upgrade all the way, right? Especially this toppled mechanic, which wasn't even that great during the Treya Sith raid days. But nonetheless, here's what it says now. You deal physical damage to target enemy if the target is top, but this attack deals 200% more damage, and the cooldown ability is reset. All right, nothing's changed there. However, If all allies were non-galactic legend bounty hunters at the start of the battle, this attack deals 200% more damage to stun targets, and this ability's cooldown is reset. So I'm guessing we have to wait and see how the full team works. I'm guessing stun. I mean, we already see his stuns, right? You know, Aurra Singh's got a stun on her basic. Boss can stun. Cad Bane can stun. I'm wondering if maybe with Zuck as a forearm, there might be a bit more stunning going on potentially. And this is her big hitting ability. That's the only thing nice about it. It hits pretty decently for, you know, a kit like hers. So being able to cycle it back to back to back, 200% more damage on a stun unit doesn't sound all that bad. So more of a minor buff, definitely not as severe as what, well, Khmer already got. Holy cow, these are insane buffs. The character didn't even come out yet. Wait, hey, at least maybe CG saw something they were testing and maybe they brought it out before, you know, we found it. It's like, wow, Khmer is trash. Because that people are gonna be so sad if the stranger Khmer after all this hype ends up being trash. So you know what? Props to them if they figured out, hey, there's some things that he's weak against and they're trying to buff that in advance. Speaking of Khmer, check this out. We have the feats that were released, and I'll release, of course, my usual guide that I do for Conquest as we get closer. Right now we still got another, what is it, week and a half or whatever it is before Conquest showed this beautiful face. But people are like, what the heck is going on with all these feats here? Look at this. Sector 4 says, when using with Commander Cody 5's Echo, Clone Sergeant, Princess Leia. What is going on there? Or, for example, in Sector 2, when a Darth Vader, Wampa, Grand Admiral Thrawn, BB-8 Commander Luke Skywalker. What the heck? What a T-Bone, TIE Fighter Pilot, Qui-Gon Jinn, Royal Guard, Jyn Erso. My friends, this is unfortunate where I say it sucks that a lot of you guys were not here in the early infancy stage of Galaxy of Heroes. It was quite a magical time. These are, it's kind of celebrating when raids are actually good in Galaxy of Heroes. Funny enough, this is a shout out to some of the best teams that were used in the Rancor raid, the AAT raid, the Sith raid. And if we pull up the data mines here and scroll down a bit, it even says it here itself, where apparently the Sector 1 boss is going to feature a Rancor. Sector 2 boss is going to be Grievous, B2 Magna from the AAT raid. Sector 3 is going to be B1 AAT from the phase 3 of the raid. For the tank raid, Sector 4 is going to have Gam Guard, Gam Captain, and Brute from the phase 1 of the Rancor. Sector 5 is a mini boss. There's Traya with the Sabers from phase 3 of the Sith raid. And then Sector 5 boss, Nihilus from phase 1 of the Sith raid. This is, I mean, again, we have to wait and see about the difficulty, right? The good news is Relic Delta, as we're going to talk about in a moment, is not kicking in for this Conquest cycle. But it seems like it's going to be coming soon because especially Khmer Strangers already talked about Relic 10, and the developers are starting to wind down the testing for Relic Delta that we've been talking about for a little bit now. It seems like it's going to be a lot of fun. It will suck, though, if you don't have these characters up and running, and it's going to be difficult. Hopefully, you know, of course, the good news is you don't need everyone to survive. They just have to be in your squad. So, for example, maybe you got a good TIE Fighter pilot, Qui-Gon and Jyn, they'll carry you. Same thing of Sector 2. I'm sure a lot of people have Vader, Wampa, Thrawn, BB-8. Okay, Commander like that's gonna be fine. You know, Sector 3, it's asking for, what is it, Chief Chirpa, Palpatine, Royal Guard. So maybe you guys have a good Palpatine. Maybe your other guys might be on the weaker side, but, you know, I think it's gonna be manageable. Again, we gotta wait and see. Sector 4, a lot of you guys have clones up and running, so that might be fine. It all depends on the difficulty of it, but I love the ode, the shout out to the OG days. And in case you guys don't know, someone actually posted a screenshot. This was a huge, this is what Galaxy of Heroes used to be about. This right here, what the hell is this team? This is what made me fall in love with the game, and it makes me sad that not a lot of you guys could experience this yourselves. You're coming to more recent days where we kind of get our hands held like, oh no, you can't use Jedi Master Windu in that team. Are you insane? No, it has to be of the Vanguard. This is what made the game so special. This is why it was so awesome seeing people think outside the box. Like, who the heck thought that Princess Leia with Commander Cody would be a killer team to AAT raid? Man, CG, it's nice that you're acknowledging this 10-year anniversary Galaxy's hitting up here soon, which is going to bring big rewards usually for an anniversary as big as this. Freebies sometime in November, I would presume. This is when your raids are really good. Nowadays, your raids are just marquee plus events, as I like to call them. Era battles, as some other people like to call them. These were magical times in this game, and I would love to get back into a direction like that. But I digress. This is the direction that we're going. So I want to save the unfortunate stuff for last because all this stuff is pretty exciting. I try not to think too much about, all this Relic Delta shenanigans. I'm worried about the impact of it all. as I said many times to you guys, to them, we know they're going full force into this. Hopefully there's a lot of cushions when we finally crash into the inevitable wall that they're driving us into. Maybe they make it. They said there's gonna be relic economy changes. How much? Is it 1% change? 50, 100, 300%? That's going to determine how bad this relic delta is going to feel. Here are the most recent numbers at V5. As you can see, they're pulling away from the 200% and the 100% they've been rocking for the 4 and 5 relic delta differences. Now down to 150%, 70%. Still pretty significant. So, for example, if you're a guy with relic 5 trying to attack, for example, a relic 9 character, you're going to do 40% less damage to that one, and they'll do 70% more damage to you. Or even more severe, a relic 4 versus relic 9, you would do 60% less damage. They would do 150% more damage to that character in that specific match. Remember, it's matchup specific, right? So obviously teams, you might have a mixture of relic 9s, 7s, 3s, 4s, whatever. So it's gonna just vary on who's attacking who, right? At the end of the day, it's not like a collective score that they're looking at. So as you can see, they're trying to reduce the impact of the higher tiers of 4 and 5 relic differences, as well as the lower side of it all. Still, in my world, I feel like at most, if we really needed it, but my opinion doesn't matter for this here. It's their game at the end of the day. I would do like maybe 5% difference per tier. They started off that way, right? 5, 10. It's like, all right, and then at most, let's say there'd be 45% difference at a 9 or like 25% difference. If there's 5 relic level differences. That's not the way they're going. So they said that they're going to be ramping down this testing that the beta testers have been doing for Relic Delta in the next week or so here. So we're kind of getting close to what I would presume again. They might have other changes they're going to make after they ramp things down, but it seems like we're getting closer to the numbers that they're looking for at CG. So just want to let you guys know that's where Relic Delta is at right now. Time will tell what the ultimate final numbers would be, but it looks like they started off really big and they went bigger and then they're going a little bit smaller. We'll see where it is. At the end of the day, I'm just here trying to have a good time with this game, and hopefully you're going to have a good weekend. A lot of awesome stuff being thrown out there for you guys to digest over the weekend. Best of luck on those additive drops. Better than nothing, as I said. Freebies are freebies at the end of the day. Rest up, my friends, because once that Khmer Conquest rolls around, it's going to be full power, my friends. Use all that power left over. Leave that like, comment down below, subscribe so you're not missing a thing. And as we like to say around here in our video gaming division, it's great to be in the Empire today. Here, we got to get a new seat. Things like getting way too squeaky. Anyway, stay squeaky clean. I'll catch you guys later.
It's great to be in the Empire today. The sun never sets.